There's a gap in this industry no one talks about. You can have strong content, solid traffic, a clear offer, and the second someone books a call, everything falls apart. Not because they aren't interested and not because they're not qualified, but because the call has no structure. And most freelancers and creatives will typically jump on these calls and start pitching and over explaining, over talking, over winging it. And then the buyer walks away confused and you're just there waiting, praying that call went amazing. A premium client doesn't need for you to hype them. They don't need a big pitch. They just want to have a conversation that makes sense. A short, clear call that shows 3 things fast. You understand the situation, you know exactly what you'd fix, and working together is the logical next step. That's the call structure we're going to be going through today. The purpose of the call isn't a sales performance. I don't know what you guys been thinking. This ain't Wolf of Wall Street where you're giving them a whole 45-minute breakdown of your whole system. The call is very simple. This call is simply 3 things. You understanding their situation, you showing them the plan, and you deciding if you're the right fit. And then when all 3 check out, you then give them the investment. Simple, clean, max 15 minutes. You have to understand, by the time they've already got on the call, they've already been warmed through your content, your ads, maybe you've qualified them through the DMs. So the call isn't to convince them, it's to confirm. So firstly, what we want to do is we want to set the frame, keep it natural, and this may take a bit of time, but whether you have the sales script in front of you, whether you want to do it off the cuff, but what you can do is you can copy this because I like to use this for all of my calls. So typically what I like to do at the start of every call is set the frame. Now I like to keep this natural. You can either copy this or you can make your own variation of it. But I go something like this. Good to meet you. Thank you so much for jumping on this call. I'll run this pretty straightforward. I'll ask a few questions to understand exactly what's going on in your world. And then I'm going to show you what I'd fix. And if it makes sense, we can discuss the next steps. Sound good? So typically that's when they will say, yeah, sure, go for it. From there onwards, it's just you leading the conversation. Understand their situation most importantly, because right now we don't want to dig into their entire life story. We just want to understand the business. In this part, 3 things matter. Where they are now. Here you can ask them what's going on with the business at the moment. What marketing or content are you doing right now? What they want instead. So you can ask them, where would you want to see change over the next few months? What is in the way? So what's stopping that from happening? Now, a lot of you freelancers think this is like a therapy session and you guys go on and on and on for ages and you're moving away from the actual core fundamentals of what the purpose of this call is. And what you'll notice is when you're asking these questions, your clients or your prospects will notice that they've never opened up like this because these are direct, simple questions aimed towards understanding their business. Now, the plan. This is where most freelancers typically oversell. Do not do that because we want to show them a path where we're not talking like that, rather we're talking like a normal business owner. So you can say something like, from what you said, here's what I do. Then we want to outline it very clearly. We'll fix the offer, we'll clean up the content and positioning, we'll even run some paid ads to bring new traffic in, we'll qualify them through the DMs, we'll help your sales team understand the closing processes, and then we'll streamline delivery so results are consistent across the board. So that flow, that structure, very short, it's direct. There's no need for you to add any other bullshit to it. When you've mastered the confidence of speaking and explaining their problem and you becoming the solution, it will show, and naturally they're going to gravitate towards that and they see you as the authority. And then we move on to the decision-making process. Do not overcomplicate this. We just simply want to ask them, does this plan sound like what you've been looking for? And if they say yes, cool. So the investment to work properly on this is going to be £6,000 and it runs for 3 months. If you're good with that, we can start today with the planning and preparations. Then stop talking. Because what happens here is most freelancers and agency owners will start panicking and they start shooting themselves in the foot and they will run to the cheapest that they can do and they'll throw in all the extra deliverables that they can. And next thing you know, they've given them the 6K package at like £500 or £1,000 when it should be worth way more because of the extras you chucked in. When you said the price, don't panic, just be silent. That silence will create a space for them to really process that and really see that decision being made in real life. And if they do hesitate, which is perfectly normal, no stress. Is it the timing or the investment? Or are you just unsure about something else? So notice here I mentioned 3 things, whether it's the timing, the investment or something else. I'm isolating 3 things that it could be a reason for why they're not moving forward or why they're not taking action. The thing is, they tell you the truth. A lot of us, we try to assume the most bizarre things, but when you just simply ask, they will tell you the truth. And then once they do, you just literally handle that one objection, nothing else. This call works because it feels normal. There's no pressure. I'm not pitching anything hard. I'm not over explaining anything. There's no corporate language thrown at them. And I don't have like 50 slide decks to present to them. It's literally a real conversation with them and me. A clear explanation, a clear process of me explaining exactly how I can help them and allowing them to make a simple decision, whether it's a yes, whether it's a no, finding out why it's a no so that I can make it into a yes. When you really deep it, Prospects will say yes when the next step feels obvious, not necessarily forced onto them. So when we bring it all together with everything we've built so far, your offer, your content system, your traffic engine, your DM qualification processes, episode 5 is the piece that finally turns the interest we've been getting a short, clean conversation that shows you understand them. You know what they need and you can help them move faster. Now, in the next and final episode, we're going to wrap up the entire system together with what delivery, how to onboard these clients properly, setting the expectations, and running the operations without burning yourself out. You're almost at the end of the series. Let's finish it off properly. I'll see you at the next episode. If you found anything valuable from this episode, drop me a comment below. It'd be good to know, and then I'll catch you on the next one. And then yeah, any feedback you have, anything you guys have questions about, feel free to ask away in the comments below, and I'll personally get back to you. Catch you on the next one.